Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky Vocational Center holds a training exercise to prepare staff members for potential active shooter situations. And the story of a missing Kentucky man ends with a happy ending.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
.32, good morning. It's Thursday. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for waking up with us, and hopefully you're trying your best to stay cool all week. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our temperatures. But Brandon, I sort of have a funny story to tell you before we get started. So yesterday a viewer messaged me and was talking about how we were talking about the heat yesterday morning, and he was complaining like, you know, the heat is a lot, and he wanted me to ask you to somehow make it cooler. And
I tell you what.
If I was like, if Brandon had the power, he would.
I'll put the order in today. It usually takes about 2 or 3 days to work out. Okay. So by the weekend, I think we can make that work.
Hey, at least you're trying.
Exactly, exactly. It's just processing time. It takes a little bit. Exactly. So I'll put that order in right away.
Okay, good.
All right, let's get into the forecast this morning. And yes, it will cool down a little bit as we head toward the weekend there. And we'll see some more mild and muggy temperatures for sure this morning. So be ready. One more record-breaking day potentially on the way. Let's take a look at our temperatures this morning. They are in the 60s and 70s out there. 66 Clintwood, 77 Moorhead. A lot of folks in the low to mid 70s and some dropping closer to 70s. We may have a few more 60s show up before it's all said and done. Regionally, we're seeing 80 in Nashville, 80 in New Orleans, 82 in Dallas, Fort Worth, 79 at the beach over at Myrtle, 68 in the Big Apple, and 76 in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. 95 this afternoon in our forecast. Scattered chances as we continue to bake there this afternoon as the heat advisory continues until 8 o'clock tonight. A few stray chances tonight, but again, I don't think a whole lot of folks see rain today. We'll get down to 75, but relief is on the way. I can tell you that. More on that in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, a death investigation is underway in Laurel County. A toddler just under the age of 2 drowned in a pool in the western part of the county Wednesday morning. In a Facebook post, the Laurel County Sheriff's Department said emergency service personnel performed CPR on site and at St. Joseph Hospital in London to try and revive the child. Sadly, their efforts were not successful, and the child was pronounced dead. We'll have more on this, and we have more on this story on WYMT.com. Kentucky State Police say an intoxicated man in Pike County stole a pickup truck and led police on a chase before he was ultimately arrested. Shortly before noon yesterday, Pikeville PD officers attempted to stop 51-year-old James Rife of Tazewell County, Virginia. An arrest citation says Rife then took off through the Cedar Creek community into the Hurricane Creek community before police used stop sticks, ending the chase along US 23 near Coal Run. Kentucky State Police investigators from Frankfort later arrived at the scene to investigate the shooting in connection to that chase, but weren't able to give any further details as it is still under investigation. He is being charged with a host of different charges. Well, one man is facing stabbing charges following an incident that happened early Wednesday morning in Bell County. Just before 4:30 yesterday morning, officers with the Middlesboro Police Department were called to a home in the Hinks Heights area. When they arrived, police say they found a man with a knife in his stomach. While investigating, 29-year-old Edward Christopher Horn was determined to be the suspect. Officers found Horn near the Happy Hollow Apartments. Police say during their conversation, Horn admitted to stabbing the other man. The victim, whose name has not been released, was taken to Middlesboro ARH. His condition is also not known. Well, today a hearing is scheduled in the murder case against Nicholas Rucker. The motion is to dismiss the case entirely. Rucker is accused of killing his girlfriend in 2019 and also accused of trying to escape from the Whitley County Detention Center earlier this year. Now, that hearing is set for 11 a.m. in the Whitley Circuit Court. Active shootings are becoming more common as time goes on, and in order to ensure the staff of Carl D. Perkins Vocational Training Center is prepared in case something like this happens, they partnered with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office to hold an active shooter training. Our Alyssa Williams was there.
It is a situation that no one thinks will happen to them.
You'd have heard of some things like that going on, but it just wasn't anything you would think it would happen in your area.
But in order to be prepared in case an active shooting does take place, those at the Carl D. Perkins Vocational Training Center hosted an active shooter training for staff at their facility on Wednesday.
In today's world, you never know what's going to happen or what events could occur. So it's always good to have staff trained and be thinking about these things and be ready and prepared.
The training was facilitated by the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, who taught trainees on the different types of active shootings, the possible motives of a shooter, and to always implement the run, hide, and fight scenarios.
That's basically your options that you've got on an active shooter is either you run and try to get to safety, or you hide and barricade yourself into a room or so forth, or the last option is fight with the person.
With Sheriff's Office employees acting out shooting scenarios with a real firearm, Deputy Tim Clark with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office says every school, workplace, or organization should offer these trainings to their staff.
I love doing these educational classes, and I get satisfaction out of it because, you know, these people are listening. You know, it may save their life.
Helping to equip Johnson Countyans with the skills they need to survive in a world where we can hope for the best, but must be prepared for the worst. In Johnson County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Deputy Tim Clark with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office adds that these trainings are free and they are willing to travel out of the county to help. Well, we have a very happy ending in the story of a missing Whitley County man, Daryl Carter. Officials with the London Laurel Rescue Squad say Carter was found alive Wednesday evening. He'd been missing since Sunday. Carter was found by a farmer checking his fields about 1 mile outside of the search area. He was dehydrated, had some cuts and bruises, but overall, he was in good shape. Happy to report that. 2 teens are safe after getting lost on a hike in extreme heat in Powell County. The search and rescue team says 2 17-year-olds got lost off of the Double Arch Trail around 5:30 Tuesday evening. By 9:45, crews were close enough to hear the hikers and make their way to them. Powell County Search and Rescue says the 2 had made a wrong turn along the way. The teens cut through branches and brush for 2 hours before calling 911. Crews are reminding people to always bring a paper map and plenty of water when you're going hiking. Despite some worldwide infamy, the Redneck Rave is returning to Kentucky this weekend. The event has gained international publicity due to widespread drug use and injuries that have happened, including a party goer getting impaled 2 years ago. Organizer Justin Stowers says ravers know the risk upon entering, and EMS will be available for any and all injuries.
We don't force anybody to come here, and at the end of the day, the people that are coming here, they know the risks. You know, like when you're dealing with a bunch of these machines and, you know, you're flying, you're going 50 miles an hour in a trail and all that kind of stuff, you know, accidents unfortunately do happen. But at the end of the day, we're making sure that we're there in a prompt, you know, mannered time, and that way we can make sure those people get out safe if they, you know, God forbid they do get injured.
The Edmonson County Sheriff's Office told our sister station, WBKO, that police expect to see congestion in the area due to traffic for the rave and that emergency response times may be extended. Tickets for the Redneck Rave can be purchased on the event's site, redneckrave.com.
It is 6:40 here on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve, Buffalo Mountain. A little bit of a breeze up there, some blue skies, just a few clouds, maybe a little bit of fog there in parts of the region. 72 on the mountain, 72 in Hazard, 77 in Moorhead, 76 Prestonsburg, 74 London, 73 Somerset, 71 in Harlan and Middlesboro 2, 70 in Jonesville, and 66 in Clintwood this morning. Your breakfast forecast, going to be another hot one out there today. 4th potential record-breaking day in a row. As we top out near 95, we're going to go through the 70s this morning. Heat advisory continues until 8 o'clock tonight for much of the region. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, young kids here in the U.S. become one step closer to being able to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Stay with us.